Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be trying out the new Jace combo in Timeless. So this is the existing kind of Dimir control shell that Mystmin and others popularized, but we got kind of a combo here. So the new Jace Reawakened, 2 mana planeswalker. You can't cast it during your first, second, or third turn of the game, so it's a 2 mana turn 4 play. But the middle ability, Plot, so you exile an online card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted, so you can cast it at sorcery speed without paying its mana. So what you can do is you can plot Valki, God of Lies, and then cast the Tibalt Cosmic Imposter side for 0 mana. And this lets you just have a really powerful planeswalker to take over the game. The rest of the deck is just a lot of interaction, so I took this as a best of 3 list. We're going to be playing it a bit in best of 1. I just want to get a couple games in. These games in best 3 will likely go quite long, but something I want to try out. The only kind of change I made in consideration of best of 1 is I cut down a cut down and I went up another Thoughtseize and I went down 1 Stern Scolding in lieu of another Drown in the Loch. I prefer to have more modular effects in best of 1, given that you don't want to have like a dead card against Show and Tell or vice versa. Against like aggressive decks, you don't want to have a handful of counter spells when they have 1-drops in play. So Drown in the Loch kind of bridges that, which I like. Mana Drain, a new very powerful card that adds to the deck, but just the core of the deck is, does it draw a card? Does it counter something? Does it provide you card advantage? And then like your Bowmasters can win you the game, your Valkis, Lurrus, or just kind of hopes and dreams shattered from your opponent. So a lot of reset. We'll give this a shot, see how these games go. Interested to see. I haven't played much control in this format. Most of what I've played has been more combo control or just big mana like the Yorion piles with like Omnath and stuff, which is kind of control, kind of timeless, or not timeless, kind of mid-rangey. I usually like a little bit more of a from the corner mechanism, so like all the Storm Giants are just a way when you exert control that you can close out the game fairly quickly. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. What we saw in the stats for best of 1 that was just published. So this deck in best of 3's got about 70% win rate. The variations, like some are playing Demonic Tutor main, they're between 68 and like 71%. In best of 1, it's the older version without the combo. So I'm interested to see if the combo has any legs in the best of 1 format as well, and just see how consistent we can kind of enable it. And not necessarily just enable it, but how powerful it is. Kind of an analog I would bring here. I was playing the Rakdos Reanimator deck. I turned 2 to Traxad, and my opponent won on their turn 3. So Traxad just didn't matter. So that's kind of what we want to see with playing these decks. And as always, with the way I kind of play out these games, I show all of it. Wins, losses, good, bad. The intent is to see how the deck plays out and to get a feel. I'm not going to truncate and, selectively crop in. Oh, I got the draw bug. Selectively crop in like 3 games and kind of go from there. But let's play it out. Come on, opponents. Thought they fixed that draw bug, but guess it is back. So the big thing here is how well we can control like opponent's Bowmasters. We want to draw a lot of cards, and then decks like the Domain deck or the Burn deck that can go above, like over the top, how those play out, and if we can interact enough with Show and Tell to see how that plays out. Alrighty. Go first, half the combo in hand, so we will keep okay, so no companion here. So it's Show and Tell, so I'm gonna get rid of the Fatal Push here. Don't think we want the other Bauble, so the Bauble's interesting. I guess it's like a free play. So maybe we keep the Bauble. They did decide to keep on top. do this. I kept Beseju on top, so they're likely looking for land. I'm just going to fetch here because we will draw. And here I think we will pass the turn. I want to see what they draw after this. Spell Pierce is a nice one here. We have Mana Leak available. So I think we just Bauble here. They can Flooded Strand to see. Okay, so they have the Thoughtseize here. I think here we're going to get the Undercity Sewers. I don't need 3 lands this turn. Okay, so we have the combo afterwards, so I could combo next turn, which is nice. Okay, the Drown in the Loch is fine. The nice thing here, I have I maybe should have kept it. That's interesting. See if they just go for it here. So I can Mana Drain this turn, but I think I'm just going to Spell Pierce. Because this will always do it. We didn't really have more mana to pay into anything. And then like here we have 3 counter spells, so even if they Thoughtseize, it's fine. So the Lorien, they'll put back the Show and Tell. But with Valki, I can eat the Show and Tell and just not cast it. I think we're going to do this. I have 3 islands, so I can put Spell Pierce back on top. But I think I want a way to close out the game a little bit faster, like a Bowmaster wouldn't be bad. And get rid of this Bauble at this point. So we'll cast Tibalt here. And now we have our walkers going. So notably I'm not going to attach. I think we counter the Brainstorm. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we actually got rid of their win condition, like their alternate win condition here, which is nice. I think we just passed the turn. Play the land. So now we have 3 counter spells. So we'll do this. We get a bunch of mana. I can Mastermind's Acquisition here. So they have to kind of rely on the Atraxa line, but then my Valki can also exile it, which is nice. So I'm gonna get the Bowmaster here, I think is the best line. I can do Dig Through Time, which might be better, just gives me more sheer card advantage. But do Bowmaster here. Get rid of Fatal Push, doesn't do much here. I guess us casting it puts it in that they can put it back on top, which makes it a little worse. They also have the Fae of Wishes. So hopefully catch him. We also just have the ultimate here with Valki that we get to exile at the graveyards. Omniscience on top. I just want to be able to like close the door now. It's an interesting kind of thought here. So they'll put Masterminds on top. They might just put Show and Tell on top. Lets them draw it again. I'm going to counter it with Drown in the Lock here because if we exile their graveyard, the Drown gets worse. So we'll do this again. This is why I like the Drown in the Lock. If this was something like Stern Scolding, it wouldn't do what we wanted it to do, so pretty impressive. Controlled that game from start to finish. Did we have fun? Sure. Did the opponent have fun? Likely not. So we got Show and Tell in the books. Hopefully run into some aggro decks, see how it plays out in that matchup. So like getting Valki Jace just kept the stream of playable cards in hand going, and then we were able to just control. The combo doesn't necessarily win right there, but we're still reliant on the Bowmasters as the kind of win condition, which is interesting. Solid. So playing a Diamond player fairly early. It's only second day of the month. We go first. I'm going to lead on Bauble. Gives us an idea of what we're playing against. Humans. So I want Bowmaster here. Have the combo in hand. So let's do this now. I think we're going to Brainstorm. I want Mana Drain. Probably do it like that. So I'll fetch here. I want to see what they play out here to see if I want a Mana Drain or not. Okay, so Castle Ardenvale. So they go with the Copper Coat here. This will give it ward and more power, so we do want to kill this here. Do this. Spellbook Vendor. Interesting card there. It's very likely that they're playing Cavern of Souls, so I don't want to be overburdened with counterspells. Thoughtseize isn't too bad. I could pick out something at their hand. So hopefully they try to go like 3-drop here. I could counter it, bring Lurrus to hand, and then just play out my turn. Okay, so Thalia's Lieutenant. I think here it's putting those two away. And just killing this. Might have been right to upkeep to shuffle it, but I think it's fine otherwise. So Boromir. Opponent can't cast spells with 0 mana, gains indestructible. The Spellbook Vendor's fine, I think. I think Boromir is the most annoying. I guess I could have cast Jace that turn, start looting. I think I'm just gonna counter whatever they play this turn. Just get that out of the way. So I could get back the Fatal Push, but I think I just want to get Sewers here. So Dig's actually pretty sweet here, because we get 2 mana from this. So that's, I only have to exile 4 things, so 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So I think here I'll take the land and Valki. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to go for it at this point. Might be wrong. I should have probably held up one more turn. I don't have the answer here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so Bowmaster's nice here. So I can exile target creature here, or I can just start plussing. The plus lets me keep going. I think so. Then we will. It's actually interesting. Get rid of Bauble here. Then I'll just wait till next turn, because I can mana drain their play and then have the Bowmaster available. Same human. Was a good draw for them. So I went with that because if they want to attack now, they have to trade off. So they named Tibalt, which is kind of annoying. Probably get rid of Spell Pierce here. So I can play this out. Because if they're playing a human with like Spellbook Vendor, it's pretty bad. I want to get my Fatal Push back on top. I think we just play this out. So they can kick here. So let's see how they attack here. Okay, so we're gonna do a little trick here. So I'm going to crack here. I'm going to get Mystic Sanctuary. Put that on top. That actually doesn't work the way I want it. So I think here... I'm going to throw everything in front of this because I have the Fatal Push, and then that enables my Tibalt to be cheaper to activate. I think we do that. I was thinking with the land, this isn't like, I was thinking Brainstorm. You can tell I don't play much control. So I can just exile a creature, which probably seems safest. So let me draw a discard first. So I can use that ability for the following turn. And then we just get him that way there. Alrighty. Slow and steady, but takes the win. So I think I'm going to call it with that. This one's just a quick demo, give you a couple views of the deck. We bet the combo deck, we bet the aggro deck. It's definitely an effective deck. I don't know how much I enjoy the game style personally, just based on like how I like to play Magic, but we controlled for most avenues. We had a heavy creature deck with tax effects that got around counters. We were able to do it. The Jace Valki combo worked pretty nicely as well. And then it's just slow to close out the games. That's the only thing that like I would notice. But otherwise, like if you want to try out these kind of control combo decks, definitely give this one a consideration. But welcome your thoughts. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.